多了，好多了，好多了，再来点气儿，再来点气儿。
Hi guys, this is Green Child and welcome to my channel. Today we will be talking about the beautiful 2019 movie The Farewell, and more specifically what nostalgia means as an immigrant. This movie is so personal to me. It is really relatable towards my situation right now, and rewatching it was absolutely heartbreaking but worth it. Also, before we start, Quality Culture already made a video similar to this one. I just wanted to give you my take on the movie, talking about something a bit different, but I definitely recommend his video because it is amazing. I will give a short summary in this movie first, as short as I could write it at least. So obviously, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it yet, but I really recommend. The movie starts with a call between Billy and Nai, her grandma. They are talking until Billy realizes that her grandma is not home, so Nai ends the call suddenly, because she doesn't want her grandmother to know that she is in the hospital. Nai is there with her younger sister, and after she gets some exams taken, the doctors tell her that Nai has cancer and has 3 months left to live, but her sister decides not to tell her. Later, we find out that Billy's cousin is getting married, but we also find out that it's an excuse for the entire family to visit Nai without looking suspicious. And when Billy finds out, she wants to go as well, but her parents tell her not to because she can't hide her emotions. Billy doesn't listen to her parents and decides to go anyway. When she arrives at her grandma's house, everybody appears surprised, but her grandma is really happy to see her. Billy is so overwhelmed by her grandma's presence and everyone is afraid she will tell her, but she doesn't. After that, we get to see the family sharing a meal together. Then, Billy's uncle takes her to the hotel while telling her that she can't expose their lie, to which she replies,
我知道.
Then, Nai and Billy are joking around and exercising. After, Nai is making lunch with Billy's mom, where Nai confesses to her that Hyan, Billy's dad, looks sad and sick, and she asks if he's drinking again. They sit down to eat lunch, and Nai insists on going to the wedding venue to look at the buffet. Even though her son tried to convince her otherwise, he decided to go with her. Billy and her dad are at a spa with Billy's aunt, and when Billy asks her if she thinks that the lying is okay, she gets told that otherwise, Nai wouldn't be so happy. The to-be-married couple is at a photo shoot for the wedding. Then, they all have dinner in the hotel they're staying at. In this scene, the tensions are high, because the life in America gets criticized, and then the life in China gets criticized, all to end on Nai's niece saying how hard it must have been for her to be without her children and grandchildren around. Nai comes home with a bad cough, while she tells her sister not to worry about it and not to tell her sons about it. We cut to Billy in her hotel room, where she steps out and sees all of the family rushing. Nai is in the hospital. We find out that she is in the hospital because she wanted to change her medicine so that she doesn't have a cough anymore. The doctor tells her she has an infection, even though he knows her situation. He is confronted by Billy, asking if he thinks that lying is okay. He says most Chinese homes will do the same, putting it as a white lie. Both Hyan and Billy think they should tell her, but Nai's sister says that not yet. Billy finds a way of letting her emotions go by playing the piano. That same night, Billy's dad gets too drunk. In their hotel room, Billy asks her mom, Lu Jian, if she could show sadness or compassion towards the situation, to which Lu Jian replies that she isn't comfortable doing so, in front of everyone at least. The next day, the whole family is at the cemetery, visiting Billy's deceased grandfather. Nai asks for his blessing in the lives of all of the family. Billy looks at the old neighborhood Grandma used to live in, giving her a sense of nostalgia. She wants to visit it, but due to being demolished and unrecognizable, they don't. At night, Hyan and Hyben, his brother, are smoking a cigarette. They are interrupted by Billy, who after calling them out for smoking, asks if they were planning on telling Nai. They say no, because to them, this lie was as if they were holding on to all the guilt and suffering for her. And Hyben said that the reason Billy wanted to tell so badly is because she wanted to feel less guilty. Simultaneously, Nai's cough is getting worse. In the next day, it's finally the wedding, and in the morning, Billy, her mom, and other family members are helping the bride find an earring. When they find it, Billy confesses to her mom she wants to stay in China, to take care of her grandma. She also breaks down and narrates how difficult it was for her to move away at a very young age from a place she loved. Later in the wedding, Hyben gives a speech, where he ends up crying and confessing how much he loves his mom. Then we hear about some war stories Nai had gone through. Then she asks Billy to say a few words. Billy says how much she misses seeing everyone and congratulates the newly wedded. Next, Billy was playing a silly game with all of her family, where the groom drinks too much. Billy looks at her grandma laughing and having a good time. She now understands why they should keep lying. When an opera artist is performing, the groom breaks into tears and he looks like he's crying for the family picture, which Nai laughs about. Nai also says that she had sent her maid to pick up her results from the exams that were made to her the last time she was at the doctor. Billy runs towards the hospital to change said results, and write that there was nothing wrong with her, and after this, Nai believes this when she's reading it. It's time for Billy and her parents to leave, but Nai talks to Billy beforehand, giving her money and telling her how she'll be fine and how brilliant she is, while refusing the offer Billy had made about staying in China. Nai helps the family get into the taxi that will take them to the airport, and they all say goodbye. Since the movie was based on real-life events, or as the movie says, based on an actual lie, we cut to the very end, where we find out that Nai not only lived 3 months, but 6 years after her diagnosis and continues to live. Very Well Mind defines nostalgia as sentimentality for the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations. Nostalgia is usually triggered by something reminding an individual or an experience from the past. It is often characterized as longing or desire to return to a former time or place. And the way we can see this in the movie is by all of the emotions portrayed by Billy when she believes she is visiting her grandma for the last time, but also in just the way the movie is shot. Many shots portray the simple day-to-day life of Chinese people. People hanging their recently washed clothes, elderly people sitting on benches, people working out in the streets, some of the buildings, the food, etc. Elements that can result familiar for a person living in China, but painfully familiar for a person that once loved to live there and left. I think a lot of immigrants can agree on the way we feel when we visit, if we can, our home country. When we see all of the family members, the friends, and the little things that we left behind, it almost makes us feel guilty. It's a weird feeling. For nostalgia to exist, we have to accept that something ended. That country's always gonna be there, but the things we love about it won't. Those family members pass away, we lose contact with those friends, and those little things change. And we feel like it's our fault because we believe that if we hadn't left, none of these changes would be happening. In the movie, Billy feels guilty for Nai sickness, as stated in the scene where she talks to Hyan and Hyben. She feels she wasn't there to take care of her, but this isn't something she feels by herself. A lot of the people in her family are immigrants, and the simple act of dealing with a great responsibility such as the big lie of the entire movie made the way they all feel like they can let go of some of this guilt while acquiring a new one. Thinking about memories of her childhood must be really tough for Billy. She probably saw the world through rose-colored lenses, and she wasn't able to see the reason as to why she and her parents may have left. I feel like this is also very common. We live to look for a better life, to study in better places, a big job opportunity, etc. We all live for different reasons, but some of those may be that we want better opportunities, and we want to support those who can't look for one. Hence the family we leave behind, and why these tend to be the older, less strong people. I wanted to focus on the old neighborhood where Grandma used to live, because I believe that this is something very important as well. A rainbow is a perfect symbol to represent happiness and also older times. The color palette, the design, is clearly based on 70s and 80s architecture or just aesthetics. Colorful, a bit bizarre, not very classy, as opposed to current architecture, drab and feels too safe. I feel like this was definitely intentional because it is a perfect way to represent nostalgia. Of course, the place where a rainbow used to permanently fly over will be a delight to a child, and it will be a painful memory to an adult that used to love to play and be themselves around there. But, as you can also see in the movie, the place is being teared down by destruction. The architecture has gone out of style and it is time to be replaced, representing that no matter how much these places, people, or moments meant or mean to us, they will go away, no matter how hard we try to stop it. The next time we can see a rainbow in the movie is in the scene after the wedding when the entire family is taking pictures. They are all in front of a very plastic and fake recreation of a rainbow. It's almost as if the entire family tried to recreate that happiness, but couldn't, because everybody knew that something had changed and they were all just faking joyful emotions, but they were broken on the inside. Nevertheless, I don't want to just put the movie on a sad perspective for the entire video. After all, the movie can be categorized as a dramatic comedy. And honestly, that is a very important part of our nostalgia, especially with the example that I'm referring to. Because as much as you are sad that the things in your hometown aren't like they used to be, you are still glad that you're there again, and that those memories will be with you forever. You actually lived those things and you got to be happy for some time. This is what the whole plot of the movie is about. Deeply devastating and emotional moments lead to hilarious ones, and vice versa.
那姑娘一点感情都没有，不像咱们家人，还得我喊着亲热点儿，靠近点儿。你说我都怀疑我以后才，他俩在卧室那干啥？
Grandma's sickness leads to this almost staged wedding of two people that had only met each other for 3 months, leading to uncomfortable or just awkward moments between the two. The bride doesn't know the language, so she just seems confused all of the time, and the groom is too emotionally unavailable to focus on her for their actual wedding. In an interview, Lulu Wang, the amazing writer and director for the movie, declared that she was holding in her laugh during her uncle's speech because it was very out of the blue after constantly telling her not to show her emotions.
Can I laugh here? Is it inappropriate? My uncle's crying, but it's kind of funny. Anyone else think it's funny? No, no, just me? Okay, I'm just a jerk then.
Time works in funny ways. Things can be terrifying, devastating, hysterical, all at the same time. Throughout our life, our emotions are more and more complex, harder to understand and communicate. So it's no news to anyone that we may just want the simplicity that we used to perceive when we were young. Nostalgia doesn't have to be completely bad or cruel though. It can push us to be better, smarter, more mature. We don't see Billy carrying a lot of her family culture publicly until the very end of the movie, when she makes the same sound that Nine told her to release her energy. We can see that this is helping her grow and carry proudly some of the things that Nine taught her. She is learning from this experience. We may grab onto times that may have seemed happier and more simple, but it's okay to accept that things are gone and that they are changing, because they just might change for the better. Well guys, this was all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and feel free to write any of your opinions below. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for watching. Bye.